Hey y'all, it's Larae Renee, host of Thoughts of a Black Queen podcast. Welcome back to another episode, you guys. This is episode 25. This is it. This is the season finale. I am wrapping up the relaunch season and I am moving on to season 2, you guys. I'm so excited. This has been a long season. It has been very drawn out, but 25 episodes later, here we are, and I'm wrapping it up. I'm ready to move on. I got some amazing things planned for you guys as far as content goes for the new season. And so I wanted to go ahead and end this season off, episode 25, talking about the glow up. I'm going to do a blog breakdown. So if you guys are unfamiliar how I do this, you can check out the show notes. The blog that this episode is based off of is in the notes. You can check it out there, SharonPinkPromos.com. It is day 11 of our 31 days of manifestations for the new year. So go ahead and check that out and we are going to get it going.
Let's do this.
You're listening to the Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast.
These are just my thoughts.
With your host, Larae Renee.
A woman, her thoughts, and a mic.
Are you ready? Check this out.
All right, you guys. Yeah. So like I said, the title of this episode is called That's the Real Glow Up. And so I just thought it was just fitting that we ended our season on this note. I thought it would be pretty cool to talk about this, and I just wanted to give you guys a different perspective of what the glow up actually is, right? So when we think about the glow up, what do we think about? We think about all of the dopeness that we acquire for ourselves as women. We think about, we may have got our body together the way that we want it together. We've been, getting our ass busted in the gym. We may have got that big promotion. We may have started that business. Money is flowing. Bank accounts, figures looking good. Skin is glowing. Squats is popping. Booty popping. Got a new man. Got rid of the old one. Got a new man who is treating us amazing. Just feeling real good. We just feel good about ourselves, and we've moved to a different level in life, and everyone around us can see that. That's why they call it the glow up, right? It's like, it just looks good, right? But I wanted to break this down differently, and I wanted to put the perspective of how the glow up has to be internal, right? So we speak highly of it, but it has to be internal before it can be anything else, because in order for you to go from one point of your life or one level in your life to another, we have to know exactly what it is and have a clear understanding of what it is that we're trying to change, what we want to do different, what needs to be better, what we don't feel good about, what we need to level up, and we need to have an understanding of that, right? And so this needs to happen so that as we work to manifest all the things in order for us to go up, we have to be very specific about what it is that we're asking for. So if you're into your manifestation, or if you know anything about it, this is where we just kind of center ourselves with the universe and just kind of think positively, and all the things that we want to acquire for ourselves, we're essentially bringing it in through the law of attraction. And so we think about the things that we want, and we claim it, and we move, and we act as though it is already ours, and we are essentially going to get those things. That's how we manifest things into our lives, right? So you have to understand this, sis, that manifesting your glow up is not going to look like anyone else's. Even if you want the same things out of life as the next woman, you want your business to be popping, like you're on social media and you're scrolling and you're seeing all these people around you, and they got just things going. They have all these great things happening, and you want this shit to happen to you too. So you're just kind of like, I want that, right? So manifesting your own glow up, even though you may want your business to be booming too, or even though you want to have that love, or whatever it is, even though you may want your business to be, booming the way that you see things on social media, it's not going to look like anyone else's. And this is because every single one of us has to have a different internal process to phase through, right? And so when we're going through this phase, we're beginning to look at things differently, and we are seeing that we have higher standards for the things that we want in our life. And so as a result of this, my process ain't gonna look like her process, and her process isn't gonna look like your process. We all gotta go through some different shit, even though we all are trying to do essentially like the same things. We all want, more commas in that bank account, right? We all want to be feeling good about ourselves, and we all just want to be, a lot of us want to work for ourselves. We want to just we have this dream life, in our mind, and we have this vision for what we want, and we want to be discovered, and we want, just to be great. But again, my process isn't going to look like your process. Your glow up, it might require you to do something different from what I have to do. So your glow up might mean that you might need to go find you a life coach, right? My glow up might mean that I need to go take my ass, sit down somewhere and meditate and pray. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. That's just kind of what it is, or vice versa. Whatever it is, it's going to be different. And so you have to make sure that you get out of your mind that you have to compete with someone else, that you have to keep up with another person. Because we can definitely fall into that space mentally where we're on social media and we're seeing things and we want those things. And so we're feeling like we got to keep up with other people. And, it's nothing to be ashamed of. That's kind of like human nature sometimes. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I haven't looked at another person. I'm like, damn, like when is my time going to be? But you have to remember that your glow up is going to happen when it's time for it to happen. Your glow up, your blow up, your boom, whatever it is, it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. So whatever it is that you need to do to obtain that, don't hold back on that. So if you really are feeling like you need some outside sources to help you, if you just really feel like you need to have someone to that you can speak with on a regular basis to help you get your shit together, don't hold back on doing that. Therapy is what's up. Okay? Therapy is nothing to be ashamed of if that's what you need. A life coach, it's so many of them out there. So many of them out there that can help you to get things in order, help you to get your mental space together, help you to get things organized. Whatever it is that you need to do, don't hold back on getting it, because that's what you need. And you'll know. It's like, I feel like you're going to know that that's what you need, because it's just, you're going to get to a point where you're like, all right, something's got to give, right? And you have to just remember, again, that it's going to be, before anything can happen on the outside, before you can go and you can get all of these things that you want, there has to be an internal change, right? So when you begin to see that your current circumstances in life can be leveled up by the state of mind you decide to place yourself in, and you have an understanding that life is all about what you make it and how you maneuver through it, it's not about comparing or competing. It's about you going on your journey to find out what you need to do and be better. That's the real glow up, right? Whatever it is that you need to do, whether you need to do some affirmations, whether you need to, like I said, meditate, it doesn't, what you need to do is what you need to do. Take that time and invest that time. Because then once you do that, you are going to begin to feel differently about yourself. And once you begin to feel differently about yourself, you will start to do things differently. So you have to mentally get motivated. If your glow up is you losing weight, or your glow up is you getting back in the gym and toning up, and you want to look a certain type of way, in order for you to be able to get your ass up and go to the gym, you have to mentally be prepared to do that. And you have to mentally tell yourself that this is what I need, this is what I want for myself, and this is what I'm going to do. Right? It starts there. It starts with your mind. If you are in a shitty ass relationship and you are ready to get out of it, or you've gotten out of it, or you've been out of the dating scene. Let's use that example. You've been out of the dating scene. You've been fine and happy and single, but you come to a point where you do realize, like, yeah, I want to spend my time and my life with somebody else. And I'm ready to get back out there. I've realized that in the past I may have done some things that I didn't want to do, or that I regret doing, or that I put myself in situations that I didn't have to be in for as long as I did. And now I know that I want better. I know what I deserve. And so then you move into dating, and you're not about to bullshit around with these men. Like, you come correct, and you lay your cards out on the table, and you let them know exactly what it is, what it's not going to be, what you want, what you require, what you need. And anybody that can't meet those needs can fall back. That's mental. That's something that you have to decide mentally, and that you have to actually do, because you're going to go through that season in life. I feel like we all can relate to that, where you go through these bullshit ass relationships, and you put up with stuff that you know you don't need to put up with it, but for the sake of not being alone, for the sake of having somebody in your life, you deal with bullshit. But then there's going to be a point where you come and you're like, you know what? I'm not dealing with this anymore. You're going to have that epiphany. It's like an epiphany. You're going to have that breakthrough, and you're just going to be like, all right, I'm moving on from this. I'm done. I know what I want. And so from that point on, you will not waste your time in situationships they're not going anywhere, or spending your time with a man who gets everything he wants from you, but you're not getting what you want from that man. For that to happen, you have to mentally and internally decide that you are going to do things differently. You're going to move better, right? That's an internal glow up. When you finally decide that you are tired of clocking into that job, when you decide that you are tired of being stressed out every damn day, Monday through Friday, or you're tired of having to work overtime, or you feel like you put so much into the job and you're not getting, compensated properly for it. When you decide that enough is enough of that, you will internally decide, you will come to a point where you will move on. Even if it's, if it's not that you're trying to start a business or work for yourself, even if you just want a better job, we will stay in jobs longer than we need to stay in jobs, or because that's the safety net. So we stay there, but there will come a point mentally, internally, where you will say, there's enough of this shit, and you will move on. You will figure out the steps that you need to take to move on. That's internal. Everything that you want to glow up in your life is got to be internal first. You have to mentally decide, this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what's going to make me happy in life. This is what's going to make me feel better about myself. This is what's going to make me, like when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to feel like, I'm going to look forward to my day versus going to bed the night before already talking about, Lord, I don't feel like going to work tomorrow. Like, don't y'all know how that is, where you just, the night before, you ain't even got to work yet. You ain't even started. You haven't even started the work day yet, and you like, man, I don't feel like going to work tomorrow. That's when when you start saying things like that and you start feeling like that, that's when something needs to begin to turn for you, and something needs to begin to happen. A transformation needs to begin to happen, and you need to figure out what it is that you need to do to move forward so that you can be happy, so that you can get that glow. Get that glow back. The happier you are internally, the more it shows on the outside. That's why it's the glow up, because you are happy. You're just happy, right? Just happy. You don't really have a lot of worries. Not saying that it means that your life is going to be perfect and that after the glow up, you will never go through anything ever again. Obviously, that's not the case. Right now, we're in a crazy time. Anything can happen. But again, every one of us has a different idea of what our glow up is going to be, and what it's going to look like, and what it's going to feel like, and what is required for it to be the actual glow up. And so you just have to reach a point mentally where you're like, all right, it's time for me to make that move. But nothing can change if nothing changes. Y'all heard that before? Nothing can change if nothing changes. And so it has to start with you. It has to start with you mentally really saying, all right, like, Lorraine, what do I need? What do I need for myself to be happy? What do I need to do different? If it's a better relationship I want, then what was I doing before and what do I need to do now? Like, or do I need to not even focus on relationships right now, and I just need to get my shit together, make myself happy, and then, you know, the better that I feel about that, I'm going to attract what it is that I want. You guys can follow along with this blog that I'm talking about. This was day 11 of the 31 days of manifestations for the new year. And this was day 11. Again, the notes, the link will be in the show notes for you guys to follow along with this. And I added some affirmations that you can use to solidify your glow up, per se, right? So, I mean, that's pretty much, I guess, how I wanted to break that down to you. You guys, don't get so caught up in everything that you see around you and all of the glamour and the glitz and the gems that you see on social media and have this admiration for that, but feel like you just have to make some sort of like quick money move or quick investment or just something like that, and then it's just gonna happen. Or because it's not, because it has to start with you deciding that you want that. And it has to start with you mentally, like, you know, attracting that to you. And that's going to be based off of how you move, how you think, how positive you are just about life. And when you're genuinely happy for others and the glow up that they have, and you're not feeling a certain type of way about it because it hasn't happened to you, when you just are actually just positive about life in general, that's when you start attracting those positive things to come to you. And then that is when you are going to kick off your own glow up. Again, like I said, you have to be ready for it, and you have to understand that it's going to be a process. It's a process. It's a transformation, again, from one point in your life to like a level up. And so that is a process. It's not just going to happen. And you have to work for it. And, you know, you do have to do certain things, like tangible things that you're going to have to do in your life, probably. Again, like if it's a physical, you know, you will have to go to the gym, and you will have to work for what it is that you want yourself to look like and how you want to feel when you look in the mirror. But in order for you to do that, you got to be motivated, sis. You have to be motivated to do that. And so what are you doing to motivate yourself to do that? It can't just be just scrolling on your phone, just like looking and admiring. It has to be something that you are doing, something that you are nourishing your soul with, something that you are feeding your brain and your mind with, that is going to motivate you to do this, right? So that's it, y'all. I didn't want to make this episode too long. I wanted to kind of just come and speak to y'all and do a quick blog breakdown for this episode. Again, this is day 11 of the 31 days of manifestations for the new year, manifesting the glow up. And I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on what the glow up is. The glow up has to be internal. That's the real glow up. Everything else that you go buy, that you go and make yourself look like, or that you invest in, or that you purchase, or all of that stuff is great. All of that stuff is awesome. All of that stuff is a part of life. That's what we work hard for. That's what we clock in every day for. That's what we are busting our ass in these businesses, and that's what we're grinding for. All of those things. But none of that will come until you internally decide that you want better, you need better, and that you're going to do better. So, you guys, that's all that I got for this one. I won't be back, you guys. I think I've already mentioned this at the top of the episode, but I'm not going to drop another episode until the new year, 2021. I'll be back with new episodes, and I am going to open up the lobby. If you're not familiar with what the lobby is, then you guys need to check me out. You guys need to catch up with me. But the lobby, just a brief rundown of what the lobby is going to be. It's going to be an exclusive group for members, or for people who actually support Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast. And inside the lobby is where you're going to get just something that everybody else doesn't get. Extra content, good stuff, fun stuff, a little bit more raw content for you guys, live episodes, things like that, just to level up from what I'm doing now. It's going to be the Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast glow up. I'm trying to do something a little bit different. If you guys have not supported me by purchasing some of the merch, check out my link in the bio for Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast, because it will take you to everything that I have. It will take you to the blog. It will take you to the merch. It will take you to some other things that I have. So definitely check me out there. I mentioned Pink Tea Chronicles podcast. That is still coming. I am working on getting some new guests lined up for that. If you are interested in being on the Pink Tea Chronicles, please shoot me an email to sharingpinkpromos@gmail.com, or shoot me a DM on the Pink Tea Chronicles _podcast page on Instagram, and we'll talk about what we need to do to get you lined up for a tea party. What else, you guys? I want to make sure I got everything out there before I wrap it up. I feel like I'm into something, and I'm coming back in a few weeks, but I feel like it's kind of like the end of something. I don't know, but that's a good thing. The end of something means we can begin something new. And I want to just say that I'm super appreciative of the feedback that I have been getting and the love that I have been receiving for what I have done so far. I get so many different ladies that say that they actually can connect with the content and that they feel like I'm talking to them. And that's the whole point of it. I want you guys to be able to just listen to this platform and feel like you're talking to your sis, feel like you're talking to a good friend, and just relate to what it is that I'm talking about. And everything is going to be positive. No matter how I break it down to you, it's positive, and it's only designed to lift you up. It's not designed to judge you or tear you down. Even if I'm raw with what it is that I'm saying, just know that it's in support of you and that I'm your number one fan. I want more of us to connect, and I want more of us to support each other. And so I felt like if I can create a platform to do that, I'm doing my part. You know what I mean? That's what I know that I'm supposed to do with my time and my life. That's a part of what my purpose is, among other things, is to use my voice to support you and to let you know that someone else out there is going through some of the same things, and that we fall short sometimes. We aren't perfect. We, do some dumb shit sometimes, and that's a part of life, but that's a part of growing, and that's a part of the glow up. You got to go through some dumb stuff and some stupid stuff, and you got to make some mistakes, and maybe you might even call some of the things regrets. Maybe some things you wish you didn't do, but I would have to tell you to look at those things as lessons and things that you will never do again. People that you've spent time with, people that you've invested yourself in, relationships that you've put your feelings and your heart into only to be stomped on. Those are all lessons. And when you take what you learn from those lessons and you keep them with you and you work on yourself, you will not make those same mistakes again. And it's not going to happen the first time. It might not happen the second time. And you will finally get it right at some point. You will reach a season in your life where you are just not going to deal with any of that shit anymore, and you're moving on from it, and you will not accept anything less than what you deserve. That's the real glow up, right? When you just make that decision and you stick with it. No one is going to sway you. No one is going to make you feel bad about you saying no. That might be you saying no. That might be you stop allowing people to take advantage of you. That might be you not being the go-to person all the time. That might be you just taking a stand and focusing on yourself and your life. You have to stop always focusing on other people and trying to be the nice person to other people. And it's amazing to be a blessing to other people. I'm not telling you guys to not be a blessing. I'm not telling you to not extend yourself when you can. But what I am saying is that you can't always do it. If it's draining you, and if you're feeling a certain type of way about what it is that you're always doing, that means there's something off about it, and something is not right, something is uncomfortable, something is bothering you. And so that means you have to take a step back from doing that, and you have to focus on what it is that you need for yourself and what it is that is going to make you happy, whatever that looks like. That is the real glow up. I can go on and on and on. I was supposed to end the episode a few minutes ago, wasn't I? But seriously, you guys, just know like that you have, right now, like it's about you. You can't take care of other people. You can't be there for other people fully and authentically if you aren't there for yourself, and if you aren't taking care of yourself. And your glow up can't happen until you take care of yourself internally, and until you start looking at yourself and like going in your mind and figuring out what it is that you need to do different, what it is that you need to change. You will then be able to acquire that glow up. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that you listening to this right now, sis, talking to you, I hope that you can understand where I'm coming from. I hope that it all makes sense. Again, if you want to follow along and read the actual blog, head over to the link that is in the show notes. That's at SharonPinkPromos.com, and you can find day 11 of the 31-day process that we're going through. Follow me. Oh, you can also check out the blog page on Instagram. That's Sharon Pink Promos blog. You can go back and check out all of the different days that we have done for the manifestations. But again, this episode, I wanted to close out the season, you guys, and just talk about how we can just do better. I'm not going to go into this whole, we got this new year, new me type of deal and all these New Year's resolutions. I don't want to talk about that, but I just did want to say, like, your glow up can happen, but you got to be ready for the glow up. You got to be ready for it. And let's go into this new year. Let's just focus. Let's get focused on what we need. What do you need, sis? What do you need first before you start doing other things? What do you need for your glow up? What do you need? Think about that. Think about that and write it down. And I encourage you guys to go back and start with day 1 of our 31 days. It's not over. I'm still in the middle of it, but start with day 1 and go back and read those blogs. They're not long, just a couple of minutes each. Go back and catch up to where we're at now and take those things in, those affirmations. If you have a journal, jot those affirmations from each day down in your journal and read those things before you go to bed at night or when you wake up in the morning. Read those affirmations and just do it regularly. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. It makes a world of a difference. And just grab a notebook, grab a journal. If you don't have a journal, I do have a journal collection, the Pink Collection, where it is broken down, where you can jot your thoughts down for purpose, inspiration, nourishment, and acknowledgement. That's the Pink Collection. You can also find the link to that in my bio. I got you covered. I got your t-shirts, I got your journals, I got your hoodies, I got your mugs, I got all the stuff that you need. But I want you guys to check out your Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast merchandise. Shameless plug, y'all. So anyways, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up right here and move on. It has been fun. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing me love. If you had dropped me a review on Apple Podcasts, I appreciate you so much. If you haven't yet done that, if you listen to this episode, or you go back and you listen to a couple of other episodes, drop your girl a review. It only takes a second. Give me a rating and a review and let me know what you thought of the episode. I would greatly appreciate that. I can't emphasize enough to you how much those ratings and reviews help us as bloggers and podcasters, how they help us. And it doesn't cost you guys anything to do that. It doesn't cost a dime to leave a rating and review, but it means so much to us. And I'm speaking on behalf of all of my podcast family and community. We really appreciate when we see those new reviews coming in, because it just, it kind of just solidifies what we're doing, and it just, it hypes us up a little bit. So if you haven't done that, I would definitely appreciate that. Your inboxes that you guys send me, definitely appreciate those. I love I love when I get messages just from random people who I didn't even know was listening, or just new followers that checked me out. And I just love when I get those inboxes and they say like, that episode was dope, but this part I knew exactly what you were talking about. I love that shit, y'all. It hypes me up, it boosts me up, and it just allows me to keep going. And because of that, I am moving on into season 2. I can't stop, won't stop, right? So if you are interested in sending me a question, or you want advice or something like that on just something random, sometimes you might want the advice, or you want to vent to someone that isn't in your immediate circle or your family, just somebody who can give you just non-biased opinion or advice, and you want to do that, you guys, I'm open to that. You can send me an email to blogqueenpodcast@gmail.com. And I will respond back to you. All emails, questions, advice, whatever you send to me are subject to be read on the show. So send those in. I have a couple of them that are waiting, but they gave me permission. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. They gave me permission to air them in season 2. Had to drink some water. So I'm excited about that, because I have 3 advice letters coming that have been sent to me to kick off the next season. So don't forget to shoot those over to me, you guys. blogqueenpodcast@gmail.com. And I think that's it. I talked about the merch. I talked about the advice. I talked about the new season. I think that's it, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Until next time, you guys, I hope you guys have an amazing Christmas, the holiday season. I hope you guys, it's just filled with love. We're still in quarantine. We still can't go outside. So I hope you guys have a great new year, a great holiday season, whatever it is that you decide to do. I just hope it's lovely. I hope it's amazing. I hope your family is doing well. I hope that you are doing well. I just hope that everything just turns out to be great, and that you kick your new year off on the right foot. And so, yeah, you guys, that's all that I got. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you guys next season, season 2, 2021. Make sure you are subscribed. And until next time, you guys, peace and blessings.
Let's do this.
You're listening to the Thoughts of a Blog Queen podcast.
These are just my thoughts.
With your host, LaRae Renee.
A woman, her thoughts, and a mic.
Are you ready?